ふざけやがって。
Review Bros back with another review in the form of Samurai pre-workout, one that's been highly anticipated by you guys, so we're going to be getting into all the usual taste, price, effects and working out if it really does live up to that name. And if you are new here guys, please do hit that subscribe button, and if you wouldn't mind liking the video, it really does help us out. That moves us into the taste segment, so I'm just going to put up a little clip here of me drinking it just so you can sort of see how it mixes, how it looks, my impressions. Comes in 3 flavours, that is cola, wild strawberry, and the one we have is raspberry. Do you know what, it actually didn't taste too bad, and fair enough, there isn't much to mix with it only being a 5-gram scoop, so it's not too much of a struggle. But yeah, it was actually not bad, so we're going to go with an 8 out of 10 on the old taste and mixability. Okay, so let's talk about price. So you go to crossthelimits.co.uk where you'll find this tub using our 10% discount code. Gonna flash that up on the screen right now. That knocks it down to £30.60 for the tub. Now this is the crazy part guys, it's a 50 serving tub and that does work out to be only 61p per serving. Whew, that's crazy, and that does come to a 9 out of 10 on our price scale. So if this works out to be a good pre-workout, then you're laughing with that sort of value for money, so stay tuned for that. US guys, you can get hold of this at various distributors. Obviously this is made in Texas, so obviously you'll be able to get hold of this, no problem whatsoever. But just for a price comparison, it would work out to be $37.52, which works out to be only 75 cents a go. So again, a really cheap pre-workout. Can't complain with that sort of value.
Let's get through this label then guys. So it's only a cute little scoop. It's only 5 grams and 2.6 grams of which is actual active ingredients, which leaves us to believe the rest is perhaps flavourings, carbs, sugars, other bits and pieces like that. So quite obviously from that we can tell this isn't going to be a pump orientated pre-workout, it's just a straight down the line stimulant formula. Unfortunately in the form of a proprietary blend, which does mean we don't know the exact dosages of every ingredient. So first up we've got geranium extract, which is obviously from the geranium plant. This is the botanical version of DMAA. Now this very much differs in potency and quality depending on how it's sourced, what part of the plant it's from, and all the rest of it. And of course we have no idea on the dosage, so this really is going to be a a complete shot in the dark in terms of how powerful this pre-workout could be from that. Moving on, we've got yohimbine HCl, not to be confused with alpha yohimbine. So this is going to be responsible for helping with fat loss, blood flow, mood elevation, lots of different bits and pieces, but at high doses it can have those negative side effects of jitters, excess saliva, and just feeling a bit ill really. So we'll have to see if this pre-workout carries those effects. Then we've got beta-alanine, which we are 100% sure is going to be underdosed based on the total volume of the active ingredients. So we'll have to see if we get the itchy and tingly effect from this. And as you know, it does also help with endurance in the form of buffering lactic acid when it builds up in your system. Finishing off, we've just got caffeine, which is obviously the main stimulant in any pre-workout. It's going to work alongside the other stimulants I've mentioned. It's just going to be responsible for giving you a kick up the arse and waking you up basically. That does tie the label up then, so let's see how this actually comes together in reality.
Okay, the part you've all been waiting for, the effects section. Let's see what sort of effects you get for that sort of value for money, because normally cheap pre-workouts don't generally deliver. So let's see if you can get that perfect sweet spot synergy of cheapness and effectiveness, because that's what we're really looking for here guys. So beta-alanine, we're certain it's underdosed because obviously 3.2 is a clinical dose. The entire active ingredient scoop here is 2.6 grams, so straight away we know that for a fact. However, you do still feel some beta tingles, heating sensation. It does feel like a sort of 2.5–3 gram amount of beta-alanine, which obviously we know it's not, but that's just how it feels. And we think that that is the case because there aren't too many other ingredients getting in the way of that. So that's why we kind of think it does still take the forefront of the initial feelings of the product, despite it being underdosed. So obviously if you love a bit of beta-alanine, this will tickle your pickle. If you're not a fan of beta-alanine, maybe steer clear. However, what I will say, that's probably going to be the least of your troubles when you're looking at a pre-workout like this, let's face it. Once the beta alanine's done kicking in, which it does sort of happen within 5-10 minutes of taking it, that lasts, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, you get the rush of energy. You start to sort of feel a mental highness, mood elevating feeling. You start to feel lifted mentally. Me and Aaron were just sort of like, I can feel something easing in, and it does sort of creep up on you. And then when you're in the zone, you're ready to go, you're motivated. We said it was not necessarily aggressive, but just very productive, motivational pre-workout. You got the drive and energy to get shit done. You're like, bang, bang, bang. The energy does sort of flow through you in a very efficient way, shall we say. So it doesn't feel like you're stimmed off your tits. You know, you don't feel like completely all over the place, which you might think, given the sort of pre-workout this is. So I would say it's more of a productive Stim Junkie pre-workout. Obviously not a daily driver based on the ingredients that are in it. I would say that it's one for Stim Junkies that are just stepping into the realm of the more crazier pre-workouts without sort of risking blowing your head off. Pumps are nothing really to write home about, guys. This isn't a pre-workout that's looking to get you pumps, but because of the work ethic this gets you putting in the gym, you do naturally work those pumps up as you would expect. So whilst it doesn't directly give you pumps, you do indirectly get pumps. So the pumps do work out to be above average simply because of the work it gets you doing. So, you know, we've got no complaints there. No one's taking this expecting to get juicy pumps anyway, so we're not going to mark it down too heavily on that. Another good point to mention is there was no appetite suppression on this, which was actually really surprising given, again, it's a high stim pre-workout. So, you know, we finished training, we were able to eat, happy days, there's no problems there. So you're not going to be particularly losing weight or missing meals on this pre-workout. Another sweet touch is that there was no crash. I mean, you don't come up crazy high. It's not like a rocket off to space and then a massive come down. It's sort of like a smooth creep up on you feeling and then creep down over a series of hours. I would say it lasted a good sort of 5-6 hours. You know, even now I still feel energetic, and I took this like 12 hours ago. So it's pretty safe to assume there's no crash. Moving into one of the most controversial ingredients is that yohimbine. Again, not alpha yo, but yohimbine, which can yield some of the negative effects when dosed highly, which we don't know the dose in this product. So we did get a very small amount of sort of the jitters and sweats, you know, sweaty palms, and a little bit of jitters, but nothing crazy, very mild. You know, if we're comparing this to Edge of Insanity and cocaine, those kinds of pre-workouts, this is like a third of that, a third of what you would sort of get from them in terms of the yohimbine feelings. So, you know, it was a sweet spot, I would say. It's enough that you can feel it, you know it's in there, but it doesn't take away from your training session. So the only real negatives that we can pick apart on this pre-workout are the fact that you do get those little bit of sweats and jitters, but that's so minimal, so minimal. So we are actually going to land on a very solid 8 out of 10 for this product, which is crazy really, because that label is basic and hilarious really. I mean, if we was rating the label, let's be 100% honest here guys, we'd give it like a 1 out of 10. It's an embarrassment of a label. We'll be the first ones to admit it. But if we're talking about actual physical effects in the gym, 8 out of 10 is what we're going to go on, guys. And for that value for money, with it being a 9 out of 10 on the price scale, it's almost too good to be true. Okay, final verdict. Let's wrap this all up then. So first up was taste. It came in 3 flavours. We had raspberry, and it actually tasted really quite nice. We gave it an 8 out of 10. We had no problems with mixability. It didn't repeat on us. It wasn't a struggle. It was actually quite pleasant. So yeah, 8 out of 10. Then we move into the price segment, which got an absolute gobsmacking 9 out of 10. One of the best priced pre-workouts we have ever seen, which I guess is partly down to the fact it is only a 5-gram scoop and there's only, what, 4 ingredients in the product. So I guess that kind of plays into the fact as to why it's such good value for money. So then we move into the effects section, which got a surprising 8 out of 10. We actually really quite like this product, both of us. We've used it about 2 or 3 times in total now since we had it delivered. And do you know what, I'll be honest, we were a bit scared to take it at first. You know, the name, we heard stories from friends about it, you know, that it was making them feel ill. So we were a bit apprehensive, but you know, we took it a few times, we gave it a good run for its money, and we actually enjoyed it. So that gives us a total score of 25 out of 30, which is actually very impressive, and it is definitely in that top echelon of pre-workout scores that we've had on the channel to date overall. Although it might not look like a great pre-workout looking at the label, it might look a bit sketchy, dodgy, who knows. It actually did come together really quite well. Just want to say at this point, guys, thank you so much for checking in. Cheers for watching the review. We want to know your thoughts on this product down in the comment section. Have you tried it? Have you tried the other sister product to this one known as Katana? Did you like that one? Anything else you want to see us review on the channel? All that good stuff. And as always, stay stimmed. And you will. Samurai style.
Wake the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
Feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me